Welcome back to the FloridaBar.com show. We have Pam Obando. I didn't screw that up, did I?
No.
Because you laughed when I said I wasn't sure. Awesome. The brand ambassador for Angels Envy's, Papa's Pilar, and lots of great smiles across West Palm Beach alone. Pam, how you doing?
Great. How are you?
Oh, awesome. Every time I get to see you, I smile because you always have that radiant smile.
Yay.
So tell us about actually what you do for the company.
I am the brand ambassador for South Florida for Angels Envy and Papa's Pilar rum. So I get the fun territory from West Palm Beach down to Miami. So.
Yeah, we worked with you a couple times with the United States Bartenders Guild and sponsored some great events. But with Angels Envy, I really feel that's a good whiskey. And we actually had a chance to sit down with Wes Henderson 2 nights ago and learn about that and the story of Lincoln Henderson and all that. How is it working for Wes? Hopefully he doesn't see this. You can be honest.
Yeah. No, you know what? He is a great person. The great reason that about both of these products is there's a great family line behind both of them, and especially with the case of Angels Envy, with Lincoln, with Wes, with Kyle, there's never been any kind of like a holier than thou type attitude. Everything has always been a very fun, friendly, family oriented type brand, and you just feel like so comfortable and so happy all the time when they're around. So it's just fun to have like a couple days to hang out with him, and you got to like interview with him and have some cocktails. It's like
felt like Oprah, sitting down, just having cocktails, talking.
Congratulations on that job, by the way.
Thank you. I got lucky. Like I just a happy bartender and just got a lucky accident. So that's all it was.
That's awesome. And he was very excited to sit with you too. So.
Oh, awesome. It was mutual. So Papa's Pilar is based out of Key West, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And tell us about that. It's fairly new, but making a lot of noise right now.
Yeah, it's only been out since last April. It's actually commissioned by Ernest Hemingway's family, so it's owned by Patrick Hemingway. They came down to our launch in Key West last year. It's only been out for a year. The dark won the Double Golden World Spirits competition. They were actually named Caribbean Journal's Rum of the Year, which is crazy hard, especially since it's not just a strict Caribbean rum. It's mixed with Caribbean rums and rums from Central America. So, it's been a crazy ride in just a year. Like, we can't ask for much more, and then we're going to be opening a distillery in Key West, hopefully at the beginning of February. So,
Tour coming soon.
Yeah, that should be just an excellent, awesome time because it's just, we have just a great team behind it of master blenders. We have, a person that is just the general manager for the distillery down there too. We have just a great team. It's just so much fun. Fishing tournaments galore.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to touch base on. Is I noticed a lot of your marketing has been paired up with fishing. Like, is that because it's a Key West atmosphere kind of thing, or how's that going about?
That's just lucky. That's just lucky. People heard the name Pilar. They've made the connection between the Pilar, the Hemingway boat, and then just like probably just every fishing tournament that comes about, they call us up and they want to be involved somehow with us, and it's been a huge blessing for us because other rums, they can only help, they hope to have that someday, and we have to actually turn some away because we just have them so often. But yeah, the fishing community just loves us. We work with Guy Harvey magazine very closely because they have the same kind of conservation efforts that we do. One of the things about Pilar is that the Hemingway family doesn't actually keep any of their royalties. They actually give it all back to charity.
That's
and it's
nice.
Like local charities like gaming and fishing organizations like the IGFA. So that's also one of the draws for the fishing tournaments because they know that we're also helping, to restore their environment. So very exciting.
If I'm not mistaken, the website is papaspilar.com.
Yes.
And one thing when you first brought the product and put it in our hands that I noticed is the blonde rum. I never really heard too much noise about a blonde rum. What makes it a blonde rum?
Okay, so the blonde rum is actually an aged rum. Both rums are Solera blended. They're going to go through bourbon barrels, port wine barrels, and sherry barrels. The blonde is just a little bit different because it gets charcoal filtered, and when it gets charcoal filtered, some of that color comes out. And then when it gets put back in the barrels, it takes all of that characteristic back in. So it's really like a dark rum that has like its own special filtration process. And because of that, they actually gave us a completely new category of rum. There's no other blonde rum in the world. I'm sure there will be in the future, but it's actually an official category now, blonde rum.
Congrats.
So it's Papa's Pilar blonde, and we're the only one.
So the question is, when do you go blonde?
Yeah, I am slowly. See, I was like, I'm dark and blind.
See, there's a mixture of both of the best of worlds. Nice.
And I end up the same color as the Angels Envy. So.
Now I got to ask, because I know from West Palm, you've been in the industry for a while. How did you get the job that you have now? And any advice to bartenders that want to step out from behind the bar and step into your, not in your shoes exactly, but into some different shoes?
Honestly, I got my job through just luck, but it was actually one of my reps from Premier Beverage. She knew that I had kind of been asking around, kind of wondering, like, looking into it, and I had a lot of friends that were brand ambassadors. And one day I was bartending, and she came up to me and she was like, "I have a telephone number, you need to make this call right now." And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Right this minute." She's like, "It's for a new bourbon company." I'm like, "Bourbon?" I'm like, "I drink tequila." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "It's in my car, I'm gonna bring it to you." And it was Ruth Westbrick. And she's like, "Do it right this second." She's like, "And plus, the person that you're gonna be working for is by far just the absolute best person in the entire business." And she was talking about Pete Fernandez, who's my boss from Mahalo, and yeah, I just couldn't ask for a better person. I talked to him, and I was hired like that exact day, 2 days later, and it's just been awesome. I mean, really, I don't think I've ever heard any person say something bad about Pete Fernandez. In this business, there's usually at least one good, bad story, and he just doesn't have it. You know, he worked with McCarty, he helped us out present, and I'm like, he just has so much knowledge, and he's just teaches me every single day. So I guess my best advice to people that want to be a brand ambassador, especially a bartender, one, always be very nice to your liquor reps. Be very, very nice to your distributors, because really you never know what you're going to be doing from one day to the next, and you might have to work with them. You know, like if I was mean to my reps from Premier, I'd probably have a really hard time selling Angel's Envy right now. And I wouldn't have a job with them either. So yeah.
So they got some great Christmas presents sent to you, I bet.
They do.
Awesome. And, just to bring it back to whiskey for a moment, what's the difference between this Angel's Envy and the rye?
Well, the Angel's Envy is bourbon. The initial one is our bourbon, so that's 72% corn, 18% rye, 10% malted barley. The rye that we have is actually 95% rye and then 5% malted barley. The rye is finished in Caribbean rum barrels. They actually formerly held Plantation XO rum. And like Plantation XO, they actually age them in barrels that used to hold cognac. So you just get this like huge, kind of sweetness to it that most ryes don't usually have. And it's 100 proof, and if you put it next to even this one, I mean, it's crazy how you can sip on it and you would have no idea that it's 100 proof. It sneaks up on you.
I remember when you brought it to the Rum Renaissance, I was working for another rum company at the time. You snuck me a shot. I was impressed. Yeah. That's 100 proof?
It's amazing. We don't have enough capability to keep it in stock right now, so it's very allocated. But once our main distillery opens, I'm sure that'll change. But it's just it's a great product. Then there's Angel's Envy Bourbon. I mean, that's just won so many awards in 3 years. Whiskey of the Year in the Whiskey World Tour. Highest rating ever with Wine Enthusiast, 98 out of 100 points. The cask strength level of this actually won the #1 spirit in the world by the Spirits Journal, top 120. So I mean,
it's good stuff.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I got really lucky when I got my job. I've never been a brand ambassador before, and I got handed these two products, and I feel blessed every single day.
Well, we wish all of you out there to get lucky. You take that however you want. Pam, I know you got to get back. You got a 14-hour drive back to Florida. So I see Josh Gates, our camera guy back there, just eyeing this bottle of rum. So maybe we get him to make a cocktail later. If not, I know I can play with it. But thank you very much, Pam.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure, and we'll be back right after this.